So today I have with us the legendary Darren Wright from Flight Centre. And Darren, I do love your actual job title, which is Head of Global Brand and Other Stuff, which is, yeah, I love that. Very cool. But thank you for joining us today and taking some time out. I guess what we're wanting to do is just sort of get a feel for how COVID has affected you guys. Clearly it's been decimating for the aviation industry and tourism industry. Just to share a little bit of your thoughts on that. And then like the what's next step. So what can we do, particularly from the airport community point of view, with marketing and playing an active role in growing demand. But we have this unique opportunity where domestic tourism is going to be quite strong for the next sort of 6 months or so. So I guess, you know, in your role at Flight Centre, you would have seen a huge impact on your business. What would you say are the key learnings for you personally and change the way that you're looking forward and what you're going to be doing next?
Hi, Carly. Thank you. That's very nice. And yes, it's an all-encompassing title in my email signature and stuff. It's all hands on deck in travel at the moment, and an all-encompassing role from a chief brand global role to calling up customers and making sure that they're okay. Yeah. So yeah, COVID certainly has a big effect on us. Travel, as everybody knows, has been decimated, and not just for the business, but also for all of the travellers that we've had and have been trying to send overseas. We've spent a lot of time working through refunds. Hasn't been pleasant for anyone, but we're very, very committed to making sure that we're looking after our customers. That aside, some key learnings have been that we've become a much smaller business, and we've become a lot more nimble in the way that we're doing business. We've had to basically reinvent ourselves many times over. The first 4 weeks, we were pretty much 24/7 in a war room trying to figure out how to keep the company alive.
Survival.
Yeah, survival mode, which many companies have gone through, but travel has been incredibly hard. How do we keep the connections with our partners? How do we make sure that we're focused on our customers? And then, you know, how do we reinvent ourselves or reimagine our business post-COVID? So that's been quite interesting, and you know, we're going to come out of this period a different company. The brand will remain strong and true to its core purpose, which is, you know, offering holidays and great service in a bit of a multi-channel point of view. We're focusing more online as much as we are offline or the traditional bricks and mortar. Yes. But some of the key things I've learned is that you can work remotely.
There are some benefits.
There are benefits. And then, you know, I have a global team, and it's actually easier to work from home and be on calls at 4 a.m. right through to 10 p.m. With a little nap in the middle of the day sometimes. Just to get through it all.
In your Ugg boots, you know.
Excuse me, in my Ugg boots with the fire going and the dog at my feet sometimes, in the background. But also how we've managed to, and how I'm sure many businesses have found this, how we've managed to focus and get things done. Yeah. That's been really interesting, that there is a 100% commitment to get stuff done. And doing that in a form of chaos it kind of separates the weed from the chaff, I guess, if that's the right analogy. To keep people with the drive, the intent and the ability to work in a flexible environment are the ones that are really shining in this time, which is great, because they're the ones you want to make change.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And yeah, certainly we've experienced that just ourselves and many other businesses I've spoken to, where it's been a good time for reflection. Like, it hasn't been all bad. I mean, it hasn't been great for revenue, but it's been good for refocusing, that's for sure. So yeah, that's great. Thank you for that little insight. And just, you know, moving forward now, have you noticed a change in sentiment and a little bit of momentum with people starting to book, people sort of doing more searches online with the Flight Centre website? Have you seen some changes there, like people starting to get interested in travel?
Yes, yeah, we're starting to see some key things happening. We're calling them green shoots. We're not prepared to call it a trend yet. there is a positive sentiment happening in the marketplace for travel. It's very much domestic right now, obviously. Our forward booking numbers are still very light, and we're seeing a forward booking trend of about 120 days. So people are starting to look domestically for that school holiday period, September, October, and Christmas. Funnily enough, people are taking a bit of a punt at the New Zealand ski season, and the Trans-Tasman bubble hasn't opened, and there's no open discussions around that just yet, but people are booking New Zealand ski packages out of Australia.
Well, that's good. We're an optimistic bunch.
Yeah, very optimistic that those flights are going to happen, and we can't say whether they will or not, or what the time may be. We're hoping it will, and so people are booking and just seeing how they go. Okay. So yeah, very much domestic. We're seeing a bit of cruise bookings come forward in 2021.
Okay.
And that's people using their credits they got from cancellations or postponement of cruise. So there's still some very hardy, I think the cruise fans are very hardy people. So they're wanting to get back on those ships pretty quickly, which is interesting.
Awesome. And is there any sort of particular types of travel and like demographics that you noticing? Do you track that sort of thing through Flight Centre?
Yeah, we do. We do a lot of customer tracking profiles, and the segments that we're starting to see are these little wedge holidays by that traveller that goes for long haul holidays that they just can't get to. So your average family or couple that would normally go to Europe in summer for 3 weeks, or the US on a big family holiday for 10 or 20 days, etc. They're starting to inquire around shorter holidays domestically. So I've coined it the wedge holiday because they can't quite have a holiday, so they're having the holiday in between the holiday.
Yeah, I like it.
So, looking for little domestic getaways, wineries, beach type getaways, North Queensland, into the regions. So I think that's good from an perspective.
Excellent. Okay. And I mean, I would love to sort of get more insight, but I'm just conscious of your time. And we work with at Lime 18 airports around Australia, New Zealand, and Vanuatu. And we've noticed, for them, they're starting to sort of make, we're sort of engaging a bit more about what recovery plan could look like. How should we be pitching to airlines, and what can airports do? Airports to play a really active role, and not just sort of leave it up to tourism or airlines to grow demand. And from my point of view, being like one of the biggest travel agency in Australia and beyond, what would you sort of advise airports? Like if you were to be having a chat with a group of airports about how they could be actively involved and play a key role in growing their demand, what would your advice be? And do you think that's a critical thing for airports?
Yeah, absolutely, Carly. You've nailed it. It's about partnerships. And my background in aviation, I've had a lot to do with various airports. And the most successful airports are the ones that take an active role within a collaborative approach with whoever is able to bring the customer through the channel. So my simple advice is to take a more commercial approach at the partnership opportunities that present themselves in the new world. Travel agencies like us, whether online or offline, are very much looking for partners that can bring a financial partnership, and then the agencies like Flight Centre bring the customers, the marketing channeling, the marketing database.
Yeah.
And the big databases are very active, like we were just speaking about, very active customers that are really looking to move. It's the easiest way to get that boost from a partnership is to get 2 or 3 different partners within the mix, and then really focus on what the core message is. The benefit of an airport is, unlike a tourism body, it's both inbound and outbound, so they win both ways.
True, yeah.
Through the various services at the airport, and it's not just bums on seats. So I think, partnerships are a big one. The ability to find that customer base that fits, knowing that domestic is going to be a hot focus for at least the next 12 months, if not 18 months. The opportunity is pretty much now as the country starts to wake up.
Yeah.
And then you get the ability of the Trans-Tasman, because international is still a fair way off. So I think commercialising the partnerships, having the ability to work with multiple stakeholders, getting a deeper knowledge of who that customer is on the way through, which is good because you can find, low cost customers right through to the luxe type customer that will spend more time and, hopefully money through airports as well.
No, that's great. No, thank you. Well, look, I'll probably cut it there because I could keep talking to you all day, but I'm conscious of bandwidth. So
Sure.
Thank you for your time and your insights. And look, I know you've got plenty of work that you're cracking on with, and it's great to see how innovative a big organisation like Flight Centre has been. So we wish you all the very best of luck. And if we can certainly bring some of our airport partners to the table to sort of potentially work with Flight Centre and other tourism partners and get it more of an active role, I think we will really see a new industry come out of COVID for the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to be a part of it. And thanks for your time, Carly. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.